Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Maths Masterclass with Leo. And if you are new, please subscribe and like, comment, and share the content with your friends. And thank you for choosing us. To the returning subscribers, thank you very much. You won't regret it. I promise you, you're gonna pass maths very well at the end of this year. Right? Today we are doing financial maths. As far as we did, so far we did how many chapters? I think we did algebra, we did functions, and then we did number pattern. Now we're doing finance. After that, we're gonna do differential calculus. Right? Let's get to it. When you talk about finance, there are basic things that you need to know. What does A represent? What does P represent? A represents the future amount, right? The future amount. When you talk about the future amount, let me say you have invested something, or you have invested your money into whatever, maybe your what you call, you're saving your money with investors, Capitec, and then you're hoping to achieve a certain amount at the end of maybe 5 years or 3 years. That is the value of A. And how much are you giving? How much are you investing right now, presently? You are giving out this amount. This is the present amount that you have. Meaning, if you deposit 500 into the account, hoping to achieve 1,500 in 3 years, that 500, it is the present amount, the amount that you have right now, right? And then we also have what you call I, which is the interest rate, right? The amount, or the percentage at which your money will grow, right? And then we also have what you call N, which is normally the number of years you're gonna spend saving your money, right? Again, this sometimes it can be okay. We also have this called K. K is the number of payments made, right? For example, they say you are paying 500 rands. You are paying 500 rands into a certain account, and you are paying it monthly for 3 years. Right? You are paying it each and every month for how many years? For 3 years. So in a year, we have 12 months. So it means I'm going to take this 12 and multiply it by 3. So in 3 years, I'm going to have 36 payments. That is the value of K, right? And then we also have, let me just erase this. Okay, let me just continue and write. What else do we have? We have, again, we have PV and FV. Right? PV, it is the present value. Right? And then FV is the future value. Right? The present value and the future value. So now, we also have formulas. The first one, let me just say A, it is the increasing interest. Right? The increasing interest, which is the A, is equals to P into 1 plus I N. Right? This represents a simple interest rate. Right? This, if they say using a simple interest rate, it means you're going to use that formula. Using a simple interest rate, you're going to use that formula. Using an increasing interest, use this formula. Right? And then we also have another one, which is a depreciating or decreasing interest rate. Depreciating and decreasing, they mean the same thing. Depreciating, in simple terms, it loses value, right? Things that depreciate, you talk about the car, your gadgets, your cell phones and stuff like that, they lose value, they depreciate as time goes, right? Then the formula for that is A is equal to P into 1 minus I multiplied by N, right? This is for the depreciating, right? Okay, before, let me just do this. Before I write the depreciating, let me just write one more formula, which is A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power N. Normally you use this one when they say compounded monthly, compounded dot. This is the formula that you're gonna use. It also represents an increasing, but this one is for compound interest rate. Right? When they say compounded monthly, this is what you're gonna use. Then you have B, okay, this is depreciation, losing of value. We have the formula that says A is equal to P into 1 minus I multiplied by N, close bracket. This is for the straight line method. Right, and then we also have another one that says, where is it? A is equal to P into 1 minus I to the power N, right? This is for the reducing balance method. We still have 2 more formulas to talk about. 2 more formulas. Let me just erase here. Erase there. We have the future value formula, which is the future value formula, which is FV is equals to X into 1 minus into 1. No, this is for the present value. Let me just do this. It's supposed to be into 1 plus I to the power N plus 1 minus 1 close bracket all over I. Right? We use this when you have the investments, someone invested investments, or someone saving money for varsity. Let me say your father or your mother is saving money for you to go to varsity. He started saving it when you were 18 years. This is what you call the future amount. In that 18 years of saving, he or she will have a future amount or future value, right? Then we have PV, which is equal to X into 1 minus into 1 plus I to the power minus N minus 1 close bracket all over I. This will talk about this one when you have your loans and so forth, right? This is used for loans and other things. Okay, now we also have this. We also have these things. I'm gonna write everything that you need to know down. All the formulas, I know there are too many, but when we start explaining the questions, you're gonna understand how they work, right? You also have effective and nominal interest rate, right? The effective and the nominal interest rate, we have 1 plus IE effective is equals to into 1 plus I nominal divided by N to the power N, right? This is the formula that we have. That is the formula that we have. Okay. What else do we have? Okay, yeah. And now with formulas, as far as the formulas we are done. As far as the formulas and the introduction we are done, I'll take one question and then show you how to apply these formulas. Okay, I've got a very simple question. I just need to jog your mind so that we can get into detail. But you know what they say, if you don't understand, if you don't know the basics, then it will be difficult for you to answer the most complex questions. Because all the most complex questions, they come from basics, right? They come from basics. If you understand the basics and how to apply the basic knowledge, then you can answer in any question, right? So Thabo deposits 10,000 into an account. Determine how much will Thabo have in his account 3 years after his deposit. If the interest rate is 12% per annum per year, this is per year, right? So now, what do we have? Deposits. Thabo is having 10,000 right now, right? Thabo is having 10,000 right now. What do you call it? The present amount, which is equals to 10,000, right? And then determine how much will Thabo have in his account 3 years. This is the value of N, 3 years after his deposit, if the interest rate is 12% per annum. You see, we need to apply a formula that it's an interest, right? It's growing, right? Increasing interest. So now, can we apply this formula? Can you apply this formula? No, I can't apply this formula. Why? Because I wasn't told that this is compounded. This is compounded. I wasn't told anything about compound, right? If they tell you something about compound, that is when you can use this formula. But if they don't say anything about compound, you need to use a different formula. So you need to differentiate. You need to know the key words when you're answering this type of questions. You are not told that it's compounded annually or what. I mean, it's compounded monthly. They just say per annum. Interest rate is 12% per annum. If they need you to use the formula for compounded, they'll say interest rate is 12% compounded monthly. Each and every month, Thabo will pay the amount. But in this case, this is the initial amount that Thabo will pay. He only gives them 10,000 and he expects that 10,000 to grow into the amount that is looking for, the amount that he wants, right? So in this case, I'm going to say A is equals to P into 1 plus IN. Because I wasn't told it's compounded monthly, so I'm going to use this formula. So do I have A? No. A, it is the future value. A is the value that I need to have after 3 years, right? So I'm just going to say here I'm going to have 10,000 into 1 plus I is 0.12. What did I do? I just said I is equals to 12 divided by 100, right? Multiply by N. N is number of years, which is 3 in this case. So what am I going to have? Let me just get my calculator. I'm going to have 13,600 in rents. This is the amount, the future amount that Thabo will have after 3 years, right? This is the future amount that Thabo will have after 3 years. Let's get another simple question, then we move. Okay, now we have a different question. Palisa borrows 12,000 from the bank. Determine how much Palisa will have to pay back the bank after 5 years. If the interest is 10% per annum, compounded monthly. Compounded monthly. I'm underlining this statement for a reason. If you use this formula, just know this is wrong. You can't do that because they told you compounded monthly. If they say compounded monthly, you're going to use a different notation and say 1 plus I to the power n, right? Compounded monthly, right? So in this case, Palisa borrows 12,000. If you borrow 12,000 right now, the bank will immediately give you the money. That money, you call it the present amount, which is 12,000. right? Because you borrow it today, the bank won't give you next year. You are borrowing it today, they give you today. That is what we call a present amount, right? So now I is equals to what do you have? 10. 10 divided by 100, right? Then you're gonna have 0.1, right? You also divide that 0.1 by 12. Why? Because each and every month when you pay back the money, you want to pay that 0.1%. I mean, you're going to pay that 0.1, not 0.1%. You're going to pay that 0.1 extra, which is 10% extra. Each and every month when you pay the monthly fees, right? So in this case, we have that, and then we have the number of years, which is 5 years, right? But in that 5 years, Palisa will pay each and every month. Palisa will have to pay, right? Each and every month, Palisa will have to pay. So that 5, you need to multiply it by 12, right? To get the total number of payments that Palisa will make, which is, I believe, is going to be 60, right? Which is going to be 60. Then now, so I'm going to have 12,000 into 1 plus 0.1 divided by 12 to the power 60, right? That is what you're going to do. Then what is your amount in rents that Palisa will have to pay back the bank? My calculator is going to be 19,743.71 in rents, right? That is in rents. Let's get another question. I hope you understand. If they say compounded monthly, you use this formula. Compounded monthly, use this formula. If they don't say compounded monthly or compounded, they just say per annum, use the first formula, right? Use the first formula. There's your answer. Let's get to the next question. Okay, they say now deposits an amount into an account. The interest rate is 12% per annum. They did not say anything about compounded what. They just said per annum, right? If Neo has 13,600 in his account 3 years after his deposit, determine how much will Neo deposit. So in this case, they say I is equals to 12 divided by 100. You're going to get 0.12. Right? And then, if you read the statement carefully, Neo deposits an amount into an account. The interest rate is 12% per annum. If Neo has 13,600 in his account 3 years after his deposit, Neo deposits a certain amount now. After 3 years, he's having 13,600. Which amount is that? In this case, that amount, it is the future amount. It is the value of A, right? It is the future amount. The value of A, it is 13,600. 13,600. Right? And then, do you have P? No, we don't have the value of P. But we also have the value of N, which is 3 years. Right? So we can simply say, oh, I wasn't told that it's compounded monthly. So I'm going to use the simple formula. The simple method, 1 plus I multiply by N. Right? So in this case, what is A? I have 13,600. Is equals to P into 1 plus 0.12 multiply by 3. Then divide by this 1 plus 0.12 multiply 3 divide by 13,600. Oh, not 13,600, but divide by into 1 plus 0.12 multiply by 3. This one and this one, they will cancel. Therefore, P, I'm going to have in rents should be 10,000. Right? It should be 10,000. So, as far as the basics we are done, I'm going to do more problems of the different type, and then I'm going to upload them, right? I'm going to upload them. Thank you for checking out our channel, and have a lovely day. Tango.